What's up, family? Welcome to Black Church Chats. I am your humble host, Pastor Isaiah Robertson, and I hope y'all are well. I already see y'all hitting the chat up. I see Mom Myrtle. That's mom number 2, y'all. For those of you that don't know, that's mom number 2. I see my friend, my brother from the land of the Anishinaabe and the Potawatomi, Mr. Phil Fox. That is my bro. I see my auntie Melissa in chat, and if Auntie Melissa is here, Auntie Millicent is not far behind. What's up, people? How y'all feeling? Sean Jackson, Pastor Sean Jackson, what's going on, man? I'm glad that you're here. Good to see you. Boy, am I glad to be with y'all. You know, I told y'all that until I hit 1,000 subscribers, I am going to live stream at least twice a week. Well, last week I didn't fulfill that, y'all. I fell short of that. I went live once on YouTube, and because of my travels, y'all, I just got tired and decided to rest up. And then I also had to do some stuff for my daughter to get her ready for school. But this week, y'all, I'm gonna make up for it. I'm going live today. I'm going live tomorrow, and I'm going live Wednesday. Yes. So we're gonna make up for it this week. And y'all know I like to jump right into it. I don't like to belabor the point. I don't like to keep y'all waiting. Boy, do we have a phenomenal discussion today. Y'all, listen, I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be learning because you know that this little podcast here, this is my hobby. I am a full-time husband, father, and senior pastor. And I need all the help that I can get. I need all the resources that I can get. And there's this new little thing. Thank you, my brother Phil, man, for the encouragement. New little thing, and new little thing called AI that I'm eager to learn more about, that I'm eager to utilize more and more. I think this tool has the potential to be revolutionary, but as with everything, y'all, it will only be as beneficial as it's utilized. If it's ignored, if it's marginalized, then guess what? Have no impact. But if we actually lean in and explore this new technology and utilize it, I think it can help us. And I have somebody here, y'all, that's going to join me today, or that's joining me today. That's an expert in this area. I am going to sit at his feet. He's in the chat. He's my friend. He's my brother. Pastor DK Hammonds is here, y'all. And if you don't know this brother, you need to know this brother. That's right. Make sure you follow DK Hammonds. Make sure you follow his YouTube. Listen, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to let my friend and brother DK introduce himself, and then we're going to dive right into the conversation, Doc. Let my audience know who you are, Doc.
What's going on, y'all? I'm DK Hammond's husband of 1, father of 4, residing right here in Dallas, Texas. And my whole life's journey and work is about bridging technology and theology. It's only a few of us in this industry of our color hue that come to equip our people. And so this gives me an opportunity to share my convictions about technology, as well as being a person that's a theologue. So, brother, I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait to see how we blaze the chat up tonight.
So listen, y'all, I've been rocking with this brother since Clubhouse.
That's right.
we actually became acquainted through technology. Mm-hmm. If you remember the platform Clubhouse, I think it still exists, but you know, we shared stages together. I was always amazed by this brother's breadth of knowledge. We got together. Wifey just joined. Wifey is in chat. Hey, baby. We got together and we discussed on various platforms. We discussed a number of different topics, not just technology, but we discussed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I developed an affinity for you, but you've always been grinding on this technology piece. And bro, like I watch you in the shadows.
Thank you, bro.
And you know what you're doing. You are an asset. You are a resource.
Thank you, man.
Pastors, you need to listen. You need to take notes because this brother is going to school us. And don't just listen and take notes. Consult with this brother. Hire this brother. Bring this brother in to preach and get your media and audio right. Okay. But Doc, so We already got questions, Doc. What's the name of your podcast he'd like to follow?
It's in my name. If you look up, I'm gonna type my name in, DK Hammond's Podcast or Drop the Mic Podcast on YouTube. You can just click that link. It leads you right over to my page. And I'm talking about this kind of stuff extensively on my page. So you can kind of get some more of this information as we go. But yeah, man, thank you for that. Thank you for those kind words, brother. I've been in technology almost 25 plus years. And I started out in just customer service and worked my way up as a director in tech. But then I made a transition to start working for a local church, a small church, probably a person that you have mentioned their name, Pastor Tim Ross, is somebody I worked for.
Yeah.
So I helped that whole entire church kind of raise its technological profile, whether it be through their internet prowess, or whether it be through their streaming, or whether it be through digital discipleship. That was all coming under my purview. With a staff of about 6 to 10 people, we were able to kind of build that platform where Pastor Tim Ross could preach, and then he could also podcast and all that kind of stuff. So many people don't know. That's kind of how I got into the nonprofit sector and doing it that way. And I've worked as a CEO of Amplify Social Media and DK Consults, what I'm doing, focusing on solely. And if you look around technologically wise, in terms of church, you'll see a lot of my work just kind of going past your eyeballs. If you're looking at the National Baptist Convention, that's my company that's kind of helping with the National Baptist Convention. If you're looking at some other entities, whether it be Pete Scazzaro or Donnie McClurkin, these are all clients that I've had touch with and helped them with their content and building in the technological space. So that's a little bit about me, some of my client base, but I'm here to help educate our people.
Yes.
Our people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Preach, Reverend.
And when you have a lack of knowledge, that means you have a lack of sage and resources of people who can come in and tell you the truth. The first thing I want you to grasp is technology is amoral. It only picks up your thought process.
Say it again, Reverend.
Technology is amoral. It only picks up your thought process. So if you are a MAGA supporter, then what do you think your technology is going to look like? It's going to look like Truth Social. It's going to look like Grunk. It's going to look like those things. But if you're a person that believes in liberation theology and want to free your people, then you have a more liberative viewpoint, and your technology will look like that. And so think about that type of deal, how tech is not amoral, it's amoral. Also think about the tech that we use in our local church sectors. Most of you, some of you love the old church lady. You walk past her desk, pick up that butterscotch. It makes it a really good day to have that butterscotch. Y'all don't see, y'all young folks don't know about butterscotch.
They don't know.
We had butterscotch in the hard strawberry candy.
That gold wrapper, just as soon as you see that gold wrapper, Doc.
Yes, but imagine if your church could employ 3 of them like her that could work 24/7. And so you would say, you're going to say to me, well, as long as they're focusing on the sermons, that's all I'm worried about. Okay, let's just deal administratively. And then we can talk about theologically how AI can help us. Administratively, think about the repetitive task that you do every single day. And ask yourself, why do I do this task repeatedly this same exact way every single day? And then once you ask yourself that question, now let's start thinking of or dreaming or reimagining what type of help needs do we need so that we can offload that and receive our time back. And most of us aren't thinking about that AI can give us back the time that we need to study, to be with family, to do with your kids. AI can be doing it. So if you're a local pastor, you have 10, you have 100 members. So you can't hire a full staff. But could you hire or could you employ an AI piece that would email first-time guests that you didn't have to do that? How much time does that consume? Here's another one. So a pastor out of Chicago who I'm working with, he is actually doing his own reels. I know how much time reels take to do social media wise, because I can do them, especially the good ones. Like if you want somebody to engage it, you got to really be thinking about that. And so he told me, he's like, man, on Sundays while I'm watching football, I would do reels. I was like, Pastor, why? You're the senior pastor. I want you studying. I want you praying. I want you going to see the sick. I want you to go do these things. I do not want you in any shape, form, or fashion doing reels. So now I'm able to take that off his plate to help him reclaim his time on Sundays, that he can go study and be with his people. This is, my friends, what AI has done for a lot of us. It has helped us reimagine how our time is used in church. It has helped us administratively. It has helped us pastorally. Now, think about this when you think about pastoral help. And please, brother, chime in the chat.
Yeah, I told you I'm a student today, man. I'm at the
when you're thinking about pastoral help, one of the things that pastors always get is these phone calls that take up 35 minutes of their time every single day.
Every day, Reverend.
Every day.
I love my members, though. Hi, my members. I love y'all.
We love y'all. But what if there was a filter? If that person, you had to kind of, watch their phone calls to see, okay, what it is that they need. Or what if you had a 24-hour Black church chat that all of your questions can be answered this way? So you're not necessarily always coming to me first. You're going to this chat first. And it could answer the questions about liberation theology, or how you view James Cone, or do you like Maverick City or not?
Right? On the head.
So it can answer those questions as an assistant, but it can also deploy itself administratively through your building. And so I want people to think about this. We shouldn't be afraid of it. So whatever fear you have about this technology, think about Y2K.
Yeah.
And how many of y'all were putting stickers, folders, because we thought the world was going to end when the clock struck 2000.
Yep.
And the world kept going, including the clocks.
Yep.
Which told us that technology is still under the hand of God.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed. So that's only a snippet. Yeah. And so I'm thinking about another thing about preaching. And here's where I know I'm gonna get in trouble. When we're thinking about pastoral assistants, one of the things that preachers, especially some male ones that we know, get in trouble about is they assistants. Well, now if I had an assistant who can do the studying, answer the phones, help me with my sermons, my wife doesn't have to worry about who's in my face at any particular time. It's technology handling that. And so we talk about sermon preparation. Imagine if I could train technology to think like me, to behave like me, to answer questions like me, and then serve it with the information that I needed to synthesize and have it to create my study notes or my outline that I need to do per the week. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know this with pastors, they spend 60% of their time in study mode. So let's just put this in perspective. Your pastor preaches on Sunday. Usually they have a Bible study or a small group. And that pastor is probably thinking of the next sermon by Sunday evening. By Monday, it's to paper. By Tuesday, it's to memory. By Wednesday, it's to delivery. And then this process starts again Thursday.
Yeah.
So imagine if you had something that could help you with the study notes that you have trained, that you understand it has implicit bias that you have removed, and that could be able to deliver the study material that's not John C. MacArthur directly to your notes. because I know a lot of y'all still read his commentary, Lord rest.
Yeah,
So
they do.
but what if we could have the Juanita Reams, the Combs, the Gardner C. Taylors as our study materials? Then what if we could challenge them, the Logoses that don't have the proper study material for our people, with AI now? Now there's no excuse. This information is palatable. It is ready. It is right for us to get. Now, I'm gonna also say this as I'm just kind of spitting.
Yeah, please.
I'm also say this. How do we get the information to the technology? One thing African American people and brown people are top end great at is storytelling.
Yes.
We are the best at it. We are the worst at archiving it. So the stories that Gardner C. Taylor had in his office, some of us will never hear.
Yeah.
Because nobody recorded them, right? The story that C.A.W. Clark may have had that we need to know about, some of us will never hear. So if we had something to pull from the archive to be able to help us study, that we can go back and reach and touch, this could help us move the barriers of information. So let's put it all together. Now I have a place that I have information coming through, and that's through storytelling. So for local pastors, that's your sermons every Sunday. You're telling stories every Sunday. Yeah. Every day you're telling stories. Yeah. And so you have a one place, whether that be your Google Drive or your Dropbox, and all of this stuff is put it and centered there. And then I train my AI to query that Dropbox to get information, and then the information can be presented to me based on how I've educated it, right? So pastors, I see your face. I'm going fast.
No, I'm here.
So pastors do this every Sunday, two, 3 sermons, messages, podcasts, conversations. All of this stuff can be archived. And so that the pastor does not have to repeat themselves every single day. You can say, let me train my AI to answer the question about salvation. Let me train my AI to answer the question about baptism, about liberation theology, about the oppression that exists, about women in ministry, about Black folks that do ministry well. And I can train my AI to do all of those things and deliver every single time. Yes.
So all this can be done. This Doc, my mind is blown right now.
Yeah.
Chat GPT can do all this, or are these different apps and platforms?
So there are different apps and platforms, but Chat GPT can do most of what I just described. Yes. And let me explain to the I have this thing. I'm a preacher, so I make things sound simpler, but they're really harder to actually do on the back end. So hear me out.
Okay.
So you're going to ChatGPT and you're going to connect your Google files. And usually most of us have, especially preachers, we have this thing called redundancy. We never want to get caught in the pulpit and we can't get our sermon. So we put it in 3 or 4 different places so we can always get to it. Right. So if you put it in Google Drive, now ChatGPT has access to this ready information to pull, extrapolate things that you've written and said. And so I can query it and it will give me back the information that I've said and tell me the date in which I've said it. So what if we were to add books that were in PDF file? And what if we were to add other podcasts that need to be there by Pastor Eric? Or what if we were to add something about 116? All of these things can be added and a part of the thought process. And so when it's time to execute or asking a question, it is simply responding to what's there through Google. Okay, let's say that you wanted to go high level beyond Google. Then you would get something what's called Pinecone. Pinecone is the knowledge base in which it's going to house everything that I just said. And then Pinecone will start taking it through this synthesis process. And then it will start issuing stuff based on the quote or prompt in which you want there. So you can say, hey, Pinecone, I want you to create a thought process behind Barack Obama's thought on theology. I'm just using them because it's pictures right here on the wall.
Yeah.
And so it would go back, pull that information, sometimes query the internet, and pull up this thought process on theology. And so you'll be able to see how that is. Now, the problem is when you cats who think you slick think that us educated preachers don't know the difference. Because we do. We honestly know if you've been using okay, so back in our day, I'm gonna date myself.
Yeah.
We had Bible search.
Yeah.
And then we had Logos on CD.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then we had Blue Letter Bible.
Yeah.
And then we had what's called Sermon Central.
Yep. It still exists.
It still exists. And we can go back and query that sermon, that title, that scripture to see if it's been said, taught, thought through it. Now watch this.
Facts.
I'm dope enough where everything has what's called an API. So an API is literally like this connection to a dongle. And this connects to my internet. And here's the information that I need to connect to their internet. And these two things chat back and forth to each other. So let's say I can go to Sermon Central and pull their open API and pull all of the sermons in one place. And now I have a power sermon of every sermon that is there and be able to query it at a moment's notice. Yes, these things can be done if we're willing to think through them. I would suggest as pastors and leaders that you get over your fear and you get in a room together and you figure out what you need to build, because your capitalist partners with a different hue is already thinking how they can monopolize off of your thought process. Example, there's this guy on TikTok right now, and he said, yeah, man, people ain't really thinking about going into the Christian sector and building apps for Christians or building information for Christians. Well, this guy did a prayer app, and his MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue, shot up by 10x.
Wow.
Because he was doing something that I think a lot of our people don't do. We do more complaining and less problem solving. If we would think about what problems we need to solve with AI, we would look at AI differently. Now, I would also lift up for those who are environmentalists, because I know there's going to be some environmentalists in the chat. I want to be able to speak to you. I do understand that AI drinks a lot of water. It drinks a lot of water. Cool. Racism drinks a lot of hot air. And so we need to be thinking about policies as well of what we need to put in place to combat both racism and the overusage of water as it relates to AI. Those things can exist at both tandems, right? Two things can be true at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And so
yes, sir.
I want to make sure that I'm also lifting that up too. I do understand that it is impacting, especially communities in Memphis and Mississippi, where there's this high use of water.
Yeah.
That a certain person from South Africa who owns a certain car company in America is using it at a high rate, not thinking about the people that it's impacting as both brown and black. So we have to also think about that. But its use cases outweigh. And I think we're going to get the government side under control momentarily. Right now we're a little but we're going to get it under control, and they're going to be able to put policy in place to kind of curtail that,
to regulate it. Doc, I so many things, man. There's a question here in chat that I want to throw at you from Pastor Sean Jackson. He says one of the concerns I heard raised about AI being used in our churches is that it will essentially replace our media staff, who for many may be their livelihood. What's your thoughts?
It can't. That's my thought. It can't. And here's what I mean, Pastor Sean. It can't, because AI cannot duplicate the human experience. AI does not understand nuance, context. Those are all things that have to be explained to AI. Example, I can put in AI clips from a preaching moment right? And I know what is going to go viral because I'm a preacher. AI is not. So it's going to give me virality based on words that they've seen go viral in the past. But it's going to miss sometimes nuance and impact. I would also say it's not going to take away those tech jobs per se if we reskill and relearn these technology things and add them to our workforce and add them to our workflow, right? People who are not using it, absolutely crazy. Your planning center uses AI. Your pro presenter uses AI. So it's already in existence. Now, are you going to use it for its good? Or are you going to sit back and say, I don't like that? No. It's a company, world-renowned company I used to work with, and I did some work for. And they wanted to hire us to come in and do some marketing for them. And we were this close from grabbing the contract. But they all had this one misnomer and misconception that AI would replace them. And AI is not in a place right now. I don't care what you see on the news to replace. Now, capitalism will suggest that it can, but it only will say that to the people that's not using it. So, brother, my sister, my family, my pastor, I would suggest right now today you download a couple of apps just to reimagine them, just to play with them. These apps are going to be free because I understand that that's another conversation about the subscription models. They seem to kind of run up the price just like you buy on Netflix or Disney Plus. Everybody's trying to hustle game. Yes. Here's some apps. I'm a power user of ChatGPT. And now I have where I can do agents, where I can build agents to do all the work for me within GPT, right? Also, I can build videos through GPT. I could do transcription through GPT. There's so much use case. Most of us are only using 0.5% of GPT's full use. So we're not using it at its overall capacity. So ChatGPT, download that, start playing with that. It's going to give you a free subscription to that. Claude.ai. Super duper.
Wait, you said Claude, is that CLAW or CLAUDE?
CLAUDIA.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all I'm learning.
So Claude is good for conversational speeches and talks. It is also good at coding. And if you notice recently, ChatGPT people, power users got in trouble for using Claude to do the coding off of Claude. They almost got sued over it, right? So it's good for that. Then you have Perplexity. That is another application that people use, especially for those who are students, scholars. They use Perplexity a lot. Google has Gemini. And Gemini, I use that daily. And let me explain the use case of what I use Gemini for. And trust me, y'all, this is all going off my head. I don't have nothing written down. I'm just talking to y'all straight. I use Gemini to answer my emails. Now think about this. Most of us have emails, or our email is overpowering our time. And we spend 30 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours answering the email box. And we've lost our day. Well, I go right to Gemini, craft a response. It'll tell me what I need to polish it, insert it, and I'm off to the next thing. It's totally answering the emails and almost predicting what to say to the said person that has emailed me. So Gemini is another. Google also have the new one that's called Opal that allows you to do these agent pieces and create blog posts. If you want to create that, create these tasks that you can do at a moment's notice. So, and I could probably go on and on about certain applications, but here's what I would also say. Play with it and try it first. Don't go try to put your money and subscription behind all these applications that you have no idea how to work them. Play with them and try. If I was trying one thing, I tried, like I said, ChatGPT. That was the first app I bought. And I try that. And don't go try the $200 one because it's not going to be worth your money. Just my opinion. No, it's not worth that yet, especially if you're not doing it at the power level that you understand it. So those are the applications I would start out with. And then I would start adding other things that will help me with my workflow. Now, I do know Logos has an AI that they're trying to roll out. Glue also has an AI that they are rolling out. All of these are companies that are rolling out applications that's directly impacting brown and black people. But the question I want you to think about tonight when you start downloading apps, how many of these apps were created by my people? Mm-hmm. 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 And you'll find that most of them are not. It's only a few of us that have created apps. Myself, Justin Lester, all of us have created apps for our people, right? And I'll talk about that a little later because it's a sermon assistant that people can use. So that's kind of, some of the applications that you can use for a use case. Yeah.
Doc, so you said something earlier, man, that I think is vital. We have to come to AI knowing the problems that we're trying to solve.
Correct.
And so that's so good because AI is extremely powerful, but if you haven't first kind of done the pre-work and figured out how AI could be utilized, then you're missing the boat. And so before the broadcast began, I said to you, Doc, I want AI to be my associate pastor. Let's
talk about that, please.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about this.
Yeah,
and I may take this conversation and create it.
Okay.
Just because I've been dreaming about this. Okay. One of my gifts to the body of Christ is an administrator and a person of strategy. It's one of my gifts. And so I have an executive pastor kind of anointing, but it shows up in different ways. And it has to do that because I'm multifaceted. Cool. So what's some of the things that you feel like executive pastors do? Number one, they help carry out the vision on a day-to-day basis. So the pastor casts, the executive pastor executes, carries. Cool. The executive pastor understands the X's and O's of ministry, in particular your ministry, what decisions need to be made, how they need to be made, etc. Right? The executive pastors are going to go do your visits, your phone calls, plan your visits, your assimilation process is going to oversee. She's going to oversee that. And if you have a discipleship track, a small group, that will all come under purview of the pastor, the executive pastor. Cool. So, do you understand your assimilation process? That's the first order of business. Most people have not even written an SOP, a standard operating procedure, about how to understand these processes. Because if you understand and you've written out your process, then you can create an assistant. So let's walk through assimilation today. I'm just going to use assimilation because that's one of my babies. I've written the whole process on it, the whole nine. First thing about assimilation is a person's going to come into your church. They're going to visit your church. Usually it's through your website, or they're going to do social media, etc. They're going to plug in that way. It's going to then route them into a system that has their email and their name. You do not need their date of birth. You do not need their phone numbers. You need the most important, most valuable thing that belongs to a human being outside of their social security number, and that is their email address. I'll say it again. You need their email address. You get their email address. Now you have opportunities to have conversations with them. Usually your church is going to do a 24 to 48 hour response. Hey, we're glad you came. Thank you. This, that, and the other. Here's a small token of our appreciation, etc. But most churches don't even use video. Use a video. Hey, this pastor such and such. I'm here to do this. And you can AI or deep fake yourself to actually be the video and say their names. Use the video. Now this person says, you know what? They made such an indelible mark on my life. I want to get connected to their ministry. You already have their email. You already have a 9-track email that you've been emailing them on. And now they're ready to make a decision. And so the system is helping them make this decision because it's being a friend to them. It's walking through them. It's hand holding them into a process. It is doing what I call low barrier mechanisms for churches. Yes, that can be done. And that's one of my apps that I've already built. I just built it last week.
I told y'all this brother's on another level. This brother is helping us today. My brother Rick Barbeau is here. Rick, good to see you, man. Rick is chiming in. He says interesting conversation. Absolutely. Rick is he's doing his thing on TikTok and YouTube as well. Absolutely. Follow this brother. He's amazing. Yeah. So Doc, man. Would you recommend, because this is what I'm thinking, man. It's just so much that can be done. Would you recommend a pastor, like, is there a manual, or would you recommend a pastor call you to consult? Because, like, where do we start? You know what I mean? So you go to Chat GPT, you get a membership with Chat GPT. But that doesn't necessarily mean that now you know what to do from there. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, is there a manual that walks you through?
Yeah.
What?
Good question.
Now?
Yeah. Good question. So I did write some materials about digital discipleship that's already pre-written. That should be on my website. And if not, email me at info@dkhammonds.com. I'll send you a copy if you email me. And I've written a book about ebook about AI, just kind of giving you some firsthand stuff about what it means, learning language models, how long it's been around. It's been around since the early 1900s, say 1940, 1950s, around that time period. It's had an impact on us that we haven't noticed. And many of us use AI every single day. If you open your weather app, you're using AI. If you pull up a calculator, you're probably using AI. If you open Siri and ask her a question, she's using AI to do that. This technology has been around. So we created resources. I'll be coming out with a community soon, as well as a digital course for people to do it. I'll also be at Napa Valley at the Theotech conference. You'll be able to check me out there. I'll be hosting, at least in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the first Christian Black hackathons that we've had in this millennium. I'll be a part of that and hosting that with who I think is the guru, the mastermind, is Dr. Justin Lester. He's the other one. So those are some of the materials that's out there. But if I was starting today, and let's walk through just standard process. Before you buy it, let's just use it. If you feel like you're at that place where you need to buy it, but just use it. You want to start querying it. Now, when I say query, you want to put in information to kind of help you make decisions with it. Do not put in your personal information. Don't put in your social security number. Don't put in your health records. Leave all of that stuff out. None of that matters, right? What we're trying to do is use this for good. So what I'll be thinking about is, how can I query this to get information back at a rapid rate? What is my context? What content am I giving the actual application itself? Because many of you are just going to start typing, but you're not going to supply with information to help you synthesize content. You need content, context. That's a seminary thing. If you guys didn't know, you need these two things. So I apply this to AI. So you need information, you need content, you need context. You need a voice. What type of voice do you want it to use? Do you want to use a soft voice? Do you want to use a informational style voice? What voice do you want to use, right? Okay. Then you need to be able to say, and if something like, if this does not fit the same makeup, ask me questions so I can clarify the questions to you so that you can get me a better response. So you need to have something in there where you tell the GPT, I want this to be conversational so I can answer and ask questions and we can have banter to create what we want to create. If I was starting, I would say something like, hey, GPT, create me 5 blog posts based on liberation theology, based on the works of Fannie Lou Hamer, based on the works of Gardner C. Taylor and have it query the internet and watch it create that. Now, your job after said creation is to edit it. Because many of you just trying to run posts out there and they have not been properly vetted, and you need to edit your stuff. See, you see where AI is going to get it twisted because it's going to lack nuance.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would get started. And then once I built that, repetition up, I start adding information to it. If I was a pastor, I would say, here's my sermon outline. Here's my sermon outline. Take my sermon outline. Here's 3 of them. Tell me what are the movements in my sermon and create me a general outline. It'll create you that general outline. Now you can create, ChatGPT has custom GPTs where you can always use this repetitive motion. You can create a custom GPT and have it in such a way that every time you hit it, it already has the information saved, and it's just pulling from the information. So let's say we created Black Church GPT. And so Isaiah's job is going to be to find every document that's in a PDF form and put it in this GPT. And then once he's done that, now he's going to say, okay, here's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to create a 5-day devotion. I want you to be able to create to answer these following questions. I want you to be able to do this and do that and do this, right? You're going to line out what you wanted to do. And now my man here has a GPT that he can share with people and they can use it. Or he can kick in his capitalist nature and put it behind a paywall and people could pay to use it. And so if I'm looking at it as a pastor, I'm thinking of how as a pastor can I take my sermons and maximize them beyond Sunday? If your sermon does not live beyond Sunday, it's really not worth the time you spent with it. It's just not. That sermon needs to be able to carry over on Monday morning, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and then the next one comes through. So how would you do that, DK? I'm so glad y'all asked good questions. Here's how you would do it. From a pastor, small church, not a mega ministry, not a mid-level ministry, less than 75 members. I'm going to create that custom GPT. And I'm going to load in my sermon notes and study material. And I'm going to ask it to create me 5 blog posts, social media content, conversations about reels, thought processes. And it's going to expand your major pillars of conversation and allow you to then have information that is readily available for your people. So a pastor is thinking about, this is a master class, and I'm just.
I know, Doc. I know. That's what. Look. We should have at least 250 people in here right now.
Y'all should share this. So let's say if a pastor wanted to write a book, most of you pastors under the sound of my voice, you need to be writing books.
Yeah.
One of the most revolutionary things you can do in your life is write books.
Yes.
Okay. So. Pastor, nobody want to hear my voice. They don't want to do this. I don't care. You need to be writing material so that God can give you fresh information to think about other things.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about GPT, I say, hey, give me the outline. Or if you've been in seminary, give me the course description for the following. It'll give you the course description. And now you say, based on this course description, let me add this and this and that and this and that and this and that and that and this. And now you say, now create me 5 pages on said topic. Next topic, 5 more pages. Next topic, 5 more pages. It may stop you if you're on the free version. On the paid version, it will not. Let me tell y'all something. Do you know how many pages it takes to make an Amazon book? 37 pages. I just gave you 10.
Yeah.
And so now we can go to Amazon ADP
Yep.
And now this can be a resource that can be used at a moment's notice, people of God. This expedites that process that we were doing all this toil and trying to figure out, trying to get this. We don't have the money for this. This cuts all that out. And it's asks you the question, do you have it in you to produce it? And if you don't do it. But if you do, we can do it over here. We can do it now.
And it's not, it's not, because here's the fear and trepidation. It's kind of like hip hop, right?
Sure.
And it's kind of like, I ain't gonna let nobody write my rhymes for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a rapper and I'm gonna rap my own lyrics. Ain't nobody gonna. But it's not that. What you're saying is that you teach AI to know your voice.
Correct.
And so all they're doing is giving back to you what you've put in there to begin with. So it's you. It's just AI is helping you to organize it, to categorize it, to put it in various buckets. But it's not the same as I ain't gonna let nobody write my lyrics and write my rhymes and stuff like that. Now there is a way to cheapen AI and reduce it to just that. But that's the cheap way to use it.
Correct.
The better way to use it is what you're saying, is actually feed it stuff, and then it returns back to you what you feed it.
Give and I give it back to you. Good measure. Press down and shake it together. So give it something to work with. And so when people talk about pastors and AI, we don't want an AI sermon. But if that pastor, let me tell you something that I know about pastors. Every one of them go through a writing spell, but they can't write. So this is just real information. Yeah. I figure if Maverick City can share their stuff, let's just talk about preachers. Every pastor goes through a spell where they can't write. It's not flowing. The bread is not fresh. Sometimes it's because they're tired. It's family. It's life. It's work. It's everything. So what if you had a GPT that would send you sermon outlines every Thursday to say, hey, consider these outlines to help you with your bread that you've written before. Consider this sermon series. And now you have an assistant that is just kind of feeding you stuff. Now, your job is not to take it word for word. Your job is to do what he just said. And that's to take it and say, let me synthesize this. In my context, in my space, for my people, and then use it in that way. And so if you're using it that way, then AI is not your problem, nor is it your fear. It is your help. It is your assistant. It is the person that's going to help you get over that hump in terms of book writing. Right. So it's those things that it's able to do, and it's able to do it with pretty good precision if it's used appropriately. So make sure you can even put in there, hey, if I quote something, ask me what the name is so we can properly quote it and give that author proper respect. I know y'all don't do that no more, but I come from that era. When somebody said it, you gave them respect for saying it.
You gotta cite them.
Okay, you got to cite. So that's some of the things and ways in which we can use AI, in which I think you could start. You start there, and then you find somebody like me afterwards. You say, "Hey, I feel like I'm at the max place. Now I'm ready to go to the next level. Tell me what you really created. Tell me about Lovable. Tell me about Cursor. Tell me about these apps that's helping me build stuff that's sustainable for my people. Tell me about that."
Doc, this has been extremely enlightening for me. I've already thought about 5 or 6 ways, and I'm the type of person, Doc, I get excited about something, I want to do it tonight. So I already made a commitment. When I get home, I'm gonna watch the Cosby Show with the wife and kids. And so I gotta, but I might be up until 2, 3 in the morning after they go to sleep, Doc, just running it. And chat, and the reason why, so the reason why I think that this conversation is so crucial, and the reason why I wanted to have it, is because, shout out to my mom, but my mom is very technology averse. Okay, very, very. And, I always said to myself, I love my mama, but I don't want to inherit her aversion to technology. I mean, my mom won't do online banking. You know what I mean? My mom won't do Zelle or Cash App. My mom won't do any of that, right? And so I've always I've grown up watching my mom be technology averse, and I said I don't want to be that. So anytime that I find myself being fearful, I intentionally lean in. Yeah. And so with ChatGPT particularly, man, listen, just to let pastors know, kind of how I've utilized it for my deacons in training.
Sure.
I assign them books. I don't have time to write comprehensive assessments for the books that they read, but they need to have assessments.
Yes.
ChatGPT creates those assessments for my deacons in training.
Good.
I can tell you about 2 or 3 things that I've done with ChatGPT since I've been the pastor, but I know that I'm only scratching the surface. Rick just said every single script I write for my videos are assisted by AI.
So if you're writing a script by videos, you're talking about AI, and Rick, please chime in if I'm wrong. Every script needs some standard things. You need a hook statement that's going to make people kind of fumble or thumble and, consider what thought process you may have. You need the information that you're really trying to convey in a small bite size, and you need a call to action. Now, you're going to have your own various ways of scripting, but that's usually the top scripts in what you want to use. And so I agree with that. So if I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel, I would try to come up with 5 things. I did a couple of series on Instagram where I took 30 days and just went day for day for day for day, nonstop social media content, and I did like 30-second blurbs. It revolutionized how my content is used, thought through. It revolutionized how fast I can put content out. When you start thinking about how you can synthesize these scripts and conversations. So yes, use it if you're a YouTube user. Use it for writing scripts. Use it to help you with your sermon preparation. Use it to write emails to people that need to have emails sent to them. This is the game changer that can give us our time back, people of God. We always talk about at church, we don't have volunteers. We don't have enough time. Yeah. This kind of cuts right in between that and give you both.
Yeah. You could even use it for research.
Absolutely.
To tell me the Greco-Roman background behind, household codes and, things of that nature. You know what I mean? And then you can, it'll pull that up and you've got it right there. You know what I mean? Like it is extremely revolutionary, man. And I hope we lean into it and we become early adopters and not late to the show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Doc, you have helped us tremendously. I don't know what happened to your.
I'm back. Hold on, it just went away.
Okay.
Let me switch.
All right. So listen, everybody listening. What I need you to do for me right now is I need you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.
Yeah.
The goal is by the end of the fall, I'm trying to get to at least 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 800.
Let's go.
And so we have a little over 200 subscribers to go. I need you to be one of those.
Yeah.
Also, this channel now has super chat capabilities.
So
you can support via super chat. I forgot to say that on the front end.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering who's going to be my first super chat. You can leave a super chat. I know that the comment section, isn't as popping as it could be, and so it's easy for you to get your comment in there. But you could still you could go down in history for the Black Church Chats channel, and you could be the first person to share a super chat. But we also need you to share this broadcast as well. People need to utilize this brother. People need to consult with this brother. Black churches, particularly. Y'all know, I love the big church, but I'm a Black church guy, right?
Yeah.
So I want Black churches to utilize this brother as a resource and tap into his knowledge and expertise. And y'all don't try to get him on the free. Okay, don't try to get him on the free. Pay the brother. He ain't gonna let you get him on the free.
No.
Doc, what are some What are some final things that you would like to say to the audience in this regard, man, and helping us to understand AI?
Yeah, it's not a thing you fight or fear. It's a thing you embrace. Find some resources and people that you trust. Find them on YouTube. Most of them are already talking about this. Dr. Justin Lester, myself, T. Mill Curtis is another one that comes up pretty frequently. Yeah, my sister Katie, that's from Church Communications, that talks about AI. Kenny Jang. There's a plethora of people on both sides of the spectrum in which you can connect with. Find the one that you rock with, talk to them, support them financially, support them in every way so they can continue to get the information that you need for your people. Invite them to your churches, email us, engage my website, go there. When we come up with new information, get on the waiting list, sell us out so that we can continue to have this conversation. I think one of the apexes to my ministry, at least to me, and I'll share this, is that I had a chance to speak at Hampton this year. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that people don't understand is that's the invitation that people dream about for their lives. Facts. Trying to get to Hampton, and God blessed us to go there, and that's just opened up the doors of conversation for AI. So continue to use us. I've talked at colleges and everything, so would love to come and entertain and have a conversation and just go from there. That's it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. My brother, I appreciate you. Love you. Listen, tap in to this man's ministry.
Thank you, man.
And you will be blessed. Hey, I need you guys to stick around. Check out the end to see all the upcoming live streams. Again, like I told you, I will be going live today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Tomorrow, the topic is developing a theology of liberation without the Germans. After that,
I love it. I love it.
After that, I'll be on Lord willing with Damon Richardson. We'll be talking about the nuances of oneness and
the Dallas Cowboys that he loves so much. That's trash. Talk about them too.
And I will. But y'all check out the upcoming broadcasts, upcoming live streams. Yeah, and again, if you haven't subscribed. DK, thank you, man. I appreciate you. And we're gonna go to the moon with this, man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you, man.
All right. Peace out, everybody.